Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about the update that's coming that's changing a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go over what's in it because I'm sure you've been beaten over the head with in-game pop-ups, videos, and stuff like that. And since I'm not part of the creator program, I can't really tell you any insider stuff, but as a veteran of the mobile gaming community and a notable insider, if you will, I'm going to talk about some more meta topics. Peel the onion back a couple layers, if you will, really quickly to fuel our never-ending thirst for bigger penises or whatever. Hit the refer a friend. Type in my code VAT80MAX. Make you happy, make me happy. Oh, so nice. Okay, now that the obligatory put my friend code so that I can continue gambling is out of the way, let's talk about it. So, here's the explainer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically, we all know that increased progression and power creep is kind of the name of the game when it comes to these sorts of games. I don't think any of us have any gripes with that. As a non-diamond haver myself, obviously a little out of reach of Mythic and all of that stuff. I will say that the power creep is not exactly something that people should necessarily be worried about in most cases. Generally speaking, there's only two subsets of people who have to worry about such things. First and foremost, everyone pull out your small violins. It's people who spend a lot of money. And of the subsection of people who spend a lot of money, it's people who begrudgingly spend a lot of money. A little industry secret for you guys. Most of these games are, after a certain amount of time, largely funded by a handful of people who do most of the spending. As someone who is a non-money haver, oh, look at that. Look, I've been hoarding because, oh my God, so beautiful. Just waiting for the custodies to be in there so that I can get them. Oh my God. The people who haves the money, as someone who does not haves the money, it's a little perplexing how they can keep spending the money. Little dirty secret. I did spensies the money on the $20 to get this motherfucker. Oh yeah, I am not at all hiding my love for the bananas. But yeah, so people who begrudgingly spend a lot of money, tiny violins, woohoo, you're gonna have to spend more money. Isn't that so sad? And the other group of people, or people who play a long time and get up towards meta contention level, but quickly get outpaced by such things as large power creep boosts. Like if Mythic is, as the devs say, going to add 50% on top of Diamond 3 for Mythic 3, if you're a free-to-play or low spender who's in contention area, you're going to suffer. So that's the progression part of it that a lot of people are up in arms about. I wouldn't worry too much. I'm not going to have any Mythic characters in the next calendar year or so, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are kind of in the same boat where you have some characters. I mean, I probably have more characters than you because, gambling and stuff like that. But for those of you who are nowhere near Diamond, let alone Mythic, I wouldn't worry too much. You're largely not going to be affected. One thing that they probably should do, if making money is something that they're interested in, and I've combed over Snowprint's parent company financials. They're not super open about the Snowprint profits if you don't look super hard, but they're doing all right. They're growing. It's good. Business is booming, right? If they're interested in the big bucks, they'll get more, how shall I say, competitive and reward-based PvP going, and most games that are hero collectors have some version of this that people can kind of call back on. So the blueprint's there and the money is there to be made, assuming that their growth numbers are, what they say they are. But that being said, a game mode that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they add it. But until they do, people like us, and probably not just people like us, because let's be honest, You guys probably don't have 70 fucking requisition scrolls just cooking in the basement for God knows how long, waiting for the proper moment. So you guys are probably like, oh my God, AP gains. Oh my God, oh my God, unrealistic beauty standards. I know. But I wouldn't worry too much. What I would worry about is actually nothing. I mean, to be perfectly honest, nothing in the update actually sounded bad for the average player. To be perfectly honest, if you're a very high level meta player who doesn't spend a lot of money, which I don't even know if that's even possible in this game because it hasn't been out that long. If you're that person, maybe you should worry. But for the rest of us, like, I am in no way affected because, you know, I'm in whatever. I don't even know what. How do I even see what league I'm in? Sergeant League. Is there a leaderboard of some kind? Yeah, here we go. Like this guy. Like, I'm in no way affected by this at all. You know, they could secretly give him code to Diamond 4. Like, I couldn't give a fuck, right? Affects me in no way until they do add more better PvP systems, which I think they probably should be working on. But what they also said in the update is they'll make it easier for people to get stuff. Now, gold and XP books as we progress into Mythic are going to be a little bit annoying, let's be perfectly honest, but if we're at the point where all of our characters are diamond and we're like, oh, AP gains, I can't get any Mythic, there's just not enough XP or gold, oh, cry me a river, right? Most people who play this game have something that they can work on that isn't, you know, Mythic Thaddeus or whatever, right? So a lot of people have been complaining about XP and gold, and I did take a 2-year break, so excuse me if I don't necessarily understand what the gold crunch is about. I don't know if this is a million or a billion. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A billion gold? Oh, I feel so rich. I wish I had $1 billion in real life. Then I wouldn't have to be this fucking depressed all the time. But yeah, like, I don't know what the gold crunch is. I also don't apply abilities to any of my characters. Like, I don't know, who's a good example? Okay, these are bad examples because these are the few characters that actually have applied abilities to, but like, this Rotbone will be Diamond 3 before he has, you know, ability level 10 on any of his abilities. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Like even my legendary could be taken to like not blue stars, but like, you know, even this motherfucker like is level, well, this doesn't really matter, but like level 15 on the passive, right? Like, maybe that's where everyone's gold is going. I don't know, but as a non-ability upgrade user, maybe I'm a little desensitized to the old the old goal crunch. But another byproduct of, like, until recently not really upgrading any characters is I also have, you guys getting ready for this? I actually don't know if this is a lot. I have no reference point, but I know these are good. I had like 200 of these like a week ago, and I kind of just like pewed them all over the place. So, you know, I probably should have recorded this video when I had 200, so you guys would be like, oh my god, APK, it's so beautiful. But it appears like they're going to make it easier to get gear and character shards and all of that stuff, which would make the argument for XP and gold valid. This is one thing that another game that I have played in the past did that was actually quite genius. I wouldn't say revolutionary in the gaming industry, but it was quite genius. Is you make it easier for everyone to get things that look cool, but aren't actually useful until they approach a bottleneck. A bottleneck that was not previously a bottleneck for other reasons, and was actually preceded by a bottleneck that people were upset about. But then you break open that bottleneck, allowing a heavy stream of flow into another bottleneck. And then, oh my god, so we didn't foresee this bottleneck, and then money, right? So, oh, fuck. I don't do YouTube anymore, so talking for more than a couple of minutes is becoming quite difficult for me. I don't have the throat stamina that I used to when I was working in trailer parks, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I would just say that for the most part, I'm quite pumped about this update. I think the game will survive a lot longer because of this, and I think it opens the door for something I'll talk about in a video some other time, that most people will probably eventually, when the time comes, be happy about, but can be annoying in the process. It's kind of like working out, you know? I don't like working out. I probably should, but let's say you're a young bachelor, right? Working out can be a little annoying, but when all the other guys start touching you in fun ways, then all of that pain and suffering finally becomes worth it. And those are the words I'll leave you on. Yeah, synopsis. I'm happy. I think it opens the doors for some fun possibilities for this game to grow. I think it'll make it easier for me to get character shards of characters that I don't have. Like, I have more characters than most people, but there are still times where I'm watching a guide on an LRE or a survival event, and they're like, well, you know, we're going to talk about the strategy where you use this character, and this character is kind of the only, and then, like, the entire comment section is like, oh, but I don't have that character, and then it's kind of just shit out of luck at that point. So, if that can be alleviated for me, because selfishly, I like the cute little characters, and I like to have them. Actually, I don't, like, play the tabletop or paint, but I have, like, a bunch of Raven Guard somewhere. I don't know where the fuck they are, actually. I could have sworn I brought them with me, like, when I moved, but I don't know. Huh. I think I have, like, 35 Raven Guard miniatures somewhere. I don't know. I don't know why I'm telling you this. All right. Snowprint. There's no shot you watched past 5 minutes because I said bad words and made jokes about things that are less than savory. But if you are listening, Raven Guard, Assassins, please. I will literally rob a bank to wail on this game for those two factions. Thank you. Bye-bye.